Yes. Welcome to Labor Relations F5. In this video, we want to look at the question paper of June 2024. And this is question one of that question paper, which is on multiple choice questions. So this question that we have for section A, and it reads various options are given as possible answers to the following questions. Choose the correct answer and write only the letter A to E next to the question number. You're given a way, the way you are supposed to respond, and then for the first question, that is 1.1, it reads a statute is the same as A, you are given a bill, B, you are given common law, C, you are given a constitution, D, you are given a law, and E, it's none of the above. But if you see a statute, we can define it as a written law passed by a legislative body, or we can try to explain it from the point of view that law is a law enacted by the legislative branch of a government. So according to the responses that we have, you'd see that law is the most appropriate, it's correct answer that we have there. So you'd see that a bill cannot apply because a bill, we can define it as a draft of a proposed law presented to Parliament for discussion. So it's a proposed law. So it doesn't qualify in the explanation that we have in terms of a statute. So we go to the next one, is 1.2, which is saying which of the following is not a reason to apply statutory control in the workplace. So we are going to see that A, we are given protection of employers, B, protection of employees, C, safe and healthy workplace, D, taxation, E, all of the above are valid reasons. So, but you see that the question is asking for a response which is not a reason. So obviously, you'd see that protection of employees is a reason. Protection of employees is a reason. Safety in the workplace is a reason. So the only one that is not applicable there is D, taxation. So remember, taxation is not it's not a responsibility at a workplace level, but at a government level. So this is what we have. So it's not going to apply here. So we can go to the next person and try to see what do we have. So if you go down, you go to 1.3. Freedom of association means, but we know that freedom of association is defined as one of the most basic rights enjoyed by humans. So getting along to define it, also we can say freedom of association also can be explained from the point of view that it explains the right to join or leave groups voluntarily. So the way that individuals are given the space to join or leave whatever group they deem necessary can also be freedom of association. So according to the responses that we have there, let's try to see freedom of association means the question is asking us for the meaning or the explanation in terms of our freedom of association. So if you go through the responses that we have there, you are going to see that if you have A is saying you have meetings, which is also freedom of association, which is correct. B is talking about recruit members, which is also correct. It's also part of a freedom of association, and we've got have elections, which is also part of freedom of association. Then we've got D, which is saying all of the above. So it means the D is correct, because our E is saying none of the above, which is not correct. So we are picking D as the correct answer that we have there. Then we can go on to see on the next question. 1.5 is saying a day strike is another name for an unprotected strike. So obviously, we can go through the responses that we are given there, but if you go through the responses, you're going to see that B is the correct answer that we have there, which is Wildcat. So a wildcat strike, you'd see that this is a strike action undertaken by unionized workers, which means workers that are in trade unions without union leadership authorization, support, or approval. So it's a strike that is being undertaken without the approval of the union leadership. So obviously there is no protection. So you'd see that it's also dubbed or termed the unofficial industrial action. So in that sense that it is an unofficial, it means there is no protection. So we have got B, a wildcat strike. Then we go to the next question. 1.6 reads a dash strike is another name for a secondary strike. So maybe we may start by understanding what do you actually mean by secondary strike. So it's that when we talk about secondary strike, it's when employees of other employers put pressure on the primary employer to accept the demand of the employees. So we are saying it's employees from a different organization that are putting pressure on behalf of workers of another organization. So that is what you call a secondary strike. So 1.6 is asking us, is saying a dash strike is another name for a secondary strike. So on 1.6, we'll see that according to the responses that we are given there, D is the correct answer, which is saying a sympathy strike. So a sympathy strike, you will see that this is when strikers, the people who are striking, have no direct grievance against their own employer, but attempt to support or aid usually another group of workers on strike. So they are supporting another group of workers on strike. They are not the ones that are on strike. So sympathy strike also explains secondary strike. So we go to the next one, which is 1.7, which is saying a dash agreement can force workers to join a representative union. We've got a closed shop, an agent shop, open shop, a union shop, and then we've got none of the above is E. But according to the responses that we are given there, you will see that a closed shop is the correct response that we are having there. So a closed shop, usually a closed shop agreement is a collective agreement requiring members of a particular group of employees to be or become members of a specified trade union. So that's what we call a closed. So in that process, it means the workers are forced to join that union. So a closed shop becomes the correct response that we have there. Then we go to 1.8. 1.8 is saying dash involves settling disputes by creating a binding settlement. A, you have got striking, B, picketing, C, arbitration, D, conciliation, E, mediation. So you see that according to the responses that we are having there, arbitration is the correct answer there. Obviously, we need to understand exactly what involves arbitration. So arbitration is when a dispute is submitted by agreement of the parties to one or more arbitrators who make a binding decision on the dispute. So the issue of the element of binding is inside the explanation of arbitration. So arbitration becomes the correct answer that we have there. Then we go to 1.9, which is saying which of the following cannot conclude a collective agreement. So the question is saying, so the keywords that we have there is cannot conclude. They cannot conclude a collective agreement. So it's that trade unions can do. Employers also can also be involved in their unions as employers, which is also correct. But when you talk about management now, management they are not they cannot conclude a collective agreement. Then we've got workplace, because management, they are workers, but this is part of the top hierarchy of workers, so they cannot conclude. Then we've got workplace forums. So workplace forums would see that this is a committee of employees elected by employees in the workplace. So they usually meet on a regular basis for consultation on workplace issues. So in that process also, they can work as an alternative for collective bargaining. So it means they are also involved in collective agreements. So this one is out again. So C is the correct answer there. Remember, the question is saying which of the following cannot conclude. So management there can be the correct answer. Then 1.10, consultation and shared decision making are part of the main function of, we are given A as bargaining councils, B, trade unions, C, employers organizations, D, management, E, workplace forums. So according to the responses that we have there, you would see that workplace forums is the correct answer that we have there. Remember, the question is saying consultation and shared decision making are part of the main function of. Remember, on the explanation of workplace forum, we are saying they usually meet employers on a regular basis for consultation and on workplace issues. So basically, we are saying the consultation is one of the key that is under the workplace forums. So this is what we've, guys, according to this video. Those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share. We are still coming with more videos as we prepare for exams. As for this video, I'm out. We meet again in the next video.